Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli talabalar. Bugun sizlar bilan O'zbekiston Milliy universiteti Xorijiy filologiya fakulteti Ingliz filologiyasi kafedrasi katta o'qituvchisi Djabbarova Nozima Kamoliddinovna boshlang'ich sinflarda chet til o'qitish metodikasi fanidan ma'ruza o'qiyman. Ma'ruzamning mavzusi dars tahlillari. Keling, ma'ruzani ingliz tilida olib borsam. The theme of the lecture, classroom observation. The first slide tells about the objectives of the presentation. The main objective of my presentation, understanding the lecture, understanding the entering to the class, the aim and importance of the classroom observation. Why people try to observe each other's lectures and lessons. They would like to just grow, or they would like to understand the mistakes, and they would like to know the professional growth and teachers' effectiveness and effective student learning. What is a classroom observation? Classroom observation is a formative, continuous process of gathering all information about the teacher, about students, and the learning targets, about lesson, aim of the lesson, and achieving this aim during the lesson. And all this just data collects and gives as a reflection to the teacher. Before entering to the class, observers should know what kind of class is it, why they are entering to the class, and who could be the observer, and how they could observe the lesson. Observer could enter to the class and observe the some part of the lesson, or the whole part of the lesson, or completely part of the lesson. And why observer enters to the class? Observer wants to evaluate the class. Just they would like to just appraise, or they will someone asks to the just checklist there. It may be administrative decisions such as rating of appraisal, job conflict and warnings also, or it could be professional development, and they can develop from the just teacher to the senior teacher. Okay, who can observe your lesson? Observer may be the head of the department, dean, or even your colleagues could enter to the class. Sometimes in our philology faculty, students also enter and observe the teacher's lesson, and they will not give the feedback. They will just try to complete the forms, and they will discuss during the lesson with their teachers. So dear students, they will try to do this kind of observations. At the 4th year, they will come and they will try to learn giving the reflection to the classroom. Teacher may be observed differently without telling beforehand. Dean or the head of the department could enter to your classes, or you can ask your colleagues to check or show your lesson, or it could be clinical supervision also. Let's come to the clinical supervision. What does it mean, clinical supervision? Clinical supervision, it's a well-known classroom observation approach. It has three basic just steps. The first step, it's a pre-observation conference. While you are coming or entering to someone's class, you need to ask the lesson plan, and you need to discuss the lesson plan, aims of the teacher, and the tasks about the just lesson plan with the observer, of course. Then class observation. During the observation, you can just quietly, silently take notes, and you will discuss all these notes after the class. You may ask the just teacher why this teacher asked only dominant students, or why she asked only just poor students who cannot just answer. Or you may give different questions according to their lesson. Effectiveness of observation would depend on the observer's knowledge, experience, interpersonal skills, and content knowledge and feedback skills also. Observers should know that to give the real good feedback. And it depends on observers' experience and interpersonal skills, of course. During observation, some major questions you can ask. Example, what is the teacher doing? What are the students doing? Then what students saying to the teacher or to each other? What is the task? What is the aim of the task? What is output of the task? What is the depth of the knowledge of the task? Let's come to the feedback. Some tips for classroom observation. For the individual observer, they can develop climate of mutual trust with the teacher, treat the teacher with respect, and try never insult the teacher. Be silent observer like a fly on the wall. Don't intervene during the observation. Sit silently and make notes, and at the end you might ask about the lesson. Next one, for management, for appraisal management, you can just ask someone, not someone, usually it's the heads of the department, enter to your classes. They will have some blank copies and they will sit silently and observe the whole lesson. At the end of the lesson, they can just tell their suggestions and they will say thank you and they will leave your class. Okay. Now let's come to the feedback. While you are giving feedback is way of the effect of our behavior has one and on another. So it should improve, it should encourage and develop the teacher's lesson. Constructive feedback, it's not only positive, it could be some just negative feedback also, or you can just say the advice or suggestions about the lesson. Some tips for feedback. Feedback should be given in a private, not in public. Pay complete attention, share only few major weak points, if several noted. Don't sound authoritative. First, try to ask the teacher to reflect on his teaching. Ask the teacher why she did like that during the lesson. And share your running notes and ask the question. Don't insult the teacher. Just give your own suggestion or opinion. Try to ask about the procedure of the lesson. Try to use the sandwich method. It's start with something positive, then be specific and give some details from your notes and suggestions, advices, then again something positive. And always try to say thank you and with smile, saying what it says about you. Try to own your feedback, be descriptive rather than evaluative. Okay, there are some forms of the observation you may see here. This is just a school observation form. Preparation, how teacher prepared to the lesson. Is there any visual aids? You can give some comments to visual aids or anticipation of student problems, language awareness. It's about preparation. The second part about the lesson, is there any pre-task, while task, or post-task, presentation, explanation, the voice of the teacher, then about the blackboard or successful activities or eliciting questioning students. You may give your own scores here, excellent, good, average, or poor. Another form, but it's in higher education usually use it. There is also classroom management, lesson, preparation for the lesson, communication skills, questioning techniques, and you will show all these notes to the teacher. Then teacher makes or just thinks about your lesson. Another form, it's also a lesson observation form. This is the next observation form. It's written on the hand, you may show it also, lesson breakdown, classroom management. There is also teachers plan effectively. Is the teacher's aim achieved or not? Or the student understand the teacher's language or not? Mistakes, teacher listen at the mistakes and use it constructively, facilitate learning. Pupils' written work are assessed, or their speech assessed regularly or accurately. Everything should be just given with marks, strong, normal, or not displayed, or like this. Okay, this is the end of the lecture. Thank you for your attention. Today we talked about the classroom observation. As an observer, don't forget, try to praise your teacher. Try to give the positive feedback first of all, then give your suggestions, then again positive. And don't forget about saying the thank you to your teacher.